me Sharpies. It's time. It is time. It is Homebrew Wednesday. Yeah, baby. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. S.J. Porter here from Little Face Brewing. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. Well, that was actually yesterday, because today's Thursday. I'm a little behind. My apologies that I haven't been able to make any videos here lately. Last 2 weeks or so, I have been sick, and the last thought on my mind was drinking a beer of any sort, if I could even get out of bed. So there you have it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I figured this week what I would do is do a little bit of a informational video and whatnot. So we're going to pack up some beers. Figured I'd throw a video out there on how I pack my beers up to ship overseas, to the UK, to Norway, to Australia, to New Zealand, to Canada. This is the way that I pack those beers, and from the feedback that I got back, they were 100% successful. I had no issues whatsoever. So I am going to show you guys how I did that. First and foremost is the box. This is a nice heavy box. And this is one of those, it's more like a square box. And this is one that I'm reusing. Somebody sent to me over the last couple years and whatnot. I like these boxes. I think they work really well, and they make what I'm doing here very easy, because I basically am going to build a cooler inside of this box. But one of the first things I want to bring up is if you're repurposing a box, you're going to want to, you're going to want to cover up any barcodes, especially if you're using UPS for your shipments. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen from time to time. If there's a barcode on here, sometimes they won't ship it, or sometimes it gets lost. So you want to cover this up, and if you can't cover it up with your sticker or whatever, go get yourself one of these here giant Sharpies, and just cover it over. That way a scanner can't read it. So that covers it up. It's just all covered up. So this has already got fragile stuff on it, so I'm going to pull that sticker off as well. That one comes right off. No issue. And I'm just going to stick it on the inside of the box. So, things that I'm going to need to build this: a tape measure, a pencil, the electrical tape, the packing tape, the scraper, the knife, and the styrofoam, and something to cut on. So, and plastic bag to put on the inside. Boom! Regular old garbage bag that has a pull type. Doesn't matter, but that's what I use because that's what I had. And these. Now this is a full pack. This is just panel foam. You can pick up in any hardware, any Lowe's, Home Depot. Comes in a pack of 6, and it's literally a couple bucks. It's not that expensive. You buy one of these, you can make a couple boxes out of these, because it's got 6 of these in it. Making this box, I'm probably only going to use one. I think it's two full sheets. So let's get to building a box, huh? get our trusty tape measure. I've already measured up the inside of this box, and it is a 12 by 12 box. So you get your pencil, mark your 12, and we'll go ahead and mark the other way. 12 and 12. Now the nice thing about using a square is you don't really need to make the 2 marks. If you make the 1, you're using the square to make your cut. So you can save yourself a little bit of time by doing that. Now you don't want to get rid of these pieces because we'll use these eventually. Let's turn this bad boy. Now I'm going to cut this one just a little bit shy of 12. Reason being is I want it to fit. I want it to fit nice and comfortable on the inside of this box. So now you make a little bit of a mess, but nothing a vacuum cleaner can't clean up. So there's your square piece for the bottom. Bring your box over, give her a trial run, and boom, the inside of the box. Now all this is going to come back out, and I'm going to put the garbage bag in for the finish. But for building purposes, we'll go with that. As you can see, I left at least 3/4 of an inch from the top down so that we have room for our lid to fit on here when it's all said and done. So this is a 12-inch wide by 10 inches high. So they already got the one, and we'll go ahead and cut the other one. Now what I like to do is actually make my shortcuts the lengthwise. So we'll mark that off at 10, and we'll mark you off at 12. That way you utilize as much as of your styrofoam as you can. There's no point in wasting any of it, right? There's the 10. And there's the 12. Set you off over there. So, there we have the bottom and 2 sides. So now I'm going to measure these because they're going to be different on the inside. Alright, so the sides measured out. The sides measured out 10.5 by 10. So slide that in, and there you have. You have all 4 in the bottom, and now we can start actually making our dividers to put on the inside here. This box is being made to haul 9 beers, and these really work out well for hauling 9 beers. When you're preparing the bottles, it's always nice to throw the electrical tape deal over the tops. Some people say it works, some people say it don't. Well, I'll put it to you this way. We've shipped beers this way all over this world, and if you follow all of these steps, you're more apt to not have as many issues. So typically I go one piece of tape one way, one the other, and then start wrapping it up, and do your fellow home brewer a favor and leave them a little bit of a tail there. Just fold that back over onto itself. And you got a little tab for the home brewer to be able to pull on and just start to unwrap it. On to doing the rest of them. I always like to put the bubbles towards the bottle. So go ahead and wrap the bottle up. Piece of packing tape. You don't have to get real crazy with the tape. Some folks do. I don't get real crazy with it. I like to put a piece across the bottom. And if I can, I like to also put a piece across the top. Every little bit helps. There we go. So if you can do it this way, depends on what kind of bags you use. And then sit it inside your bag. And the reason why I say that is because if this bottle does break, you know, for whatever reason, if it does go ahead and snap on you, well, you've got all that bubble wrap that should contain. Alright, so I have all my bottles wrapped in bubble wrap and inside of bags. That way, the bubble wrap, if one does break, the bubble wrap, my theory is the bubble wrap will kind of hold the bottle together, and the bag around the bubble wrap should contain the liquid. And if that fails, that's what the outer bag is for in here. So time to make our sections in the middle. So what I'm going to do is actually make two pieces that are, for this box, to be 10 inches tall by 10 5/8 inches long. So we'll go down here to 10, and we'll come up here to 10 5/8. So now you can see how the box is starting to come together. You've got these pieces actually holding these all in place. So we have those dividers in, and now we'll just go ahead and start making the small dividers that fit in here. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will get those out of these leftover pieces that I have. Alright, so now I have all my center pieces cut, and that's what that looks like. So now these are all just setting in there loose. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots that we can put beers in without any issue whatsoever. These guys should just slide right down in there without any problem. And you just fill them up and off you go. But we don't want to do that quite yet, because I got to pull all these back out, put the bag in, and put them all back in again. Put the ones in the middle. That kind of locks all of them in place. And voila, we can go ahead and start putting bottles in. See how this works. And bam! So there you've got all the bottles inside there. And just go ahead and fill in some of these little spots here so that you can get rid of as much movement as possible. Like that. Throw that in there. Oddball size dealios. Shore everything up real nice. Take the lid. Set the lid on there. So we got the lid on there. Folded the bag down over, taped it up real good. Close her up. And bam, look at that. I have to put some more tape on there. But there, we have a box ready to go. That's all covered up. Just got to slap a label on there and bam, we are go. So, there you have it. Box is nice and taped up, sealed up. All the bottles are wrapped and they're in separate bags. The whole deal is inside of another bag, and it's ready to ship. So this one goes off to my friend Dan. My friend Dan. He's been kind enough to send me a bunch of beers. It's time for me to pay up. Alrighty then. Well, that's my Homebrew Wednesday video for today. Homebrew Wednesday for Thursday. That works. Here we go. This is S.J. Poor from Little Face Brewing. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, folks. Brew beer. Great beer. Oh, man.